Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with the top 20 works. If I could choose only one piece by every major composer that ever lived, what would it be? And here are our first 20 selections. I think this is an appropriate time to take a pause in this process and see how far we've come, because we have an absolutely marvelous list. Now, for those of you who are joining late, I have seen some puzzlement in the comments section. Let me explain to you why we're doing this and what's happening. I have had a vision. Unfortunately, that vision seems to only appear in the context of text superimposed on horrible performances of Wagner's Das Liebesmahl der Apostel, his dullest ever work, the love feast of the apostles. Ugh, horrible. But the god of classical music, his name is Cancresans, appears to me during recitations of this appalling piece of music, and told me that he is going to destroy all of classical music, but for one work by every composer, because he is totally disgusted at the classical music industry, the senseless duplication of repertoire, the metastasizing proliferation of Bruckner editions, the complete disregard for the musical extraordinariness of this gift we've been giving. And as a punishment, that's what he's going to do. And so he said to me, Dave, you have to do the choice. You have to pick the one work by each composer that's going to survive before the coming apocalypse. And so I have come to you to ask for your help. And together we have started to put the list together. We have no idea when Cancresans is going to exact his terrible vengeance on all of us. And so we have to do as much as we can, as quickly as we can. Now, my concept here is to do a Scheherazade, to give him a list that is so extraordinary that he's going to keep asking for more, and then eventually, hopefully, we'll give up the whole idea because it's ridiculous, and we know it's ridiculous. And in fact, I said to Cancresans, through the medium of Wagner's Das Liebesmahl der Apostel, I don't know how it happens, it's in a dream and all that. Anyway, I said to him, look, I said, here's 20. Do you want more? And he said, yes, I want more. I want every composer that ever lived, blah, 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 blah. I mean, he's just so irritating and peremptory in his commands. And I said, let's just work this out logically. Here are the first 20. If you want more, doesn't that mean that it's ridiculous for you to do this in the first place? Because the whole concept is that we're not supposed to have more, but you want more, so why shouldn't we have more? Well, he got very huffy. He's not the brightest god out there, I have to say. And, some of you might say to me, how could you risk everything by negotiating with him? And my answer to that is very simple. I mean, I take the biblical approach. First of all, I'm Jewish. Jews negotiate. We negotiate with God all the time. I mean, look at the story of Abraham and Sodom and Gomorrah. He had a bargain. Well, if there are 50 virtuous people, you'll spare Sodom. If there are 10, you'll spare Sodom. We get to negotiate. It's something that we do, and God kind of looks forward to it. And the fact of the matter is, on the other hand, the people in Sodom were sodomites committing sodomy, but what were the Gomorrahs doing? They were Gomorratopians committing Gomorratroscopy. I mean, anyway, never mind. So the bottom line here is that I said to Cancresans, I said, you really don't have any reason to have an attitude. I said, real God likes to negotiate. It's a sign that he's picked his disciples correctly, because they may point out things that God may have missed. And I said to him straight out, I said, besides, you're not even the big deal God. You're just the God of frivolous entertainment. I mean, and it just seems to me that these lesser gods, the lesser they are, the more persnickety they get regarding their prerogatives. You know what I mean? So anyway, we're not there yet, but we're getting close. He said he wants more, so we're going to do more. But in the meantime, for our own sake, I think we should take a pause and look down below. You'll see the list of 20 fabulous pieces that we've selected. We have, you ready? I mean, we have everything. We have ballets, we have operas, we have chamber music, we have piano solos, we have symphonies and orchestral works. I mean, it's an amazing list. Certainly evidence of the great fecundity of our classical music tradition and the need to be able to enjoy it in its fullest and ripest glory and fullness. But, it's not up to us. So what have we got? We've got Ravel's Mother Goose, Bruckner's Seventh, Schubert's String Quintet, Shostakovich's Fourth, Mahler's Second Symphony, Tchaikovsky's Nutcracker, Debussy's Piano Preludes, Handel's Saul, yay! Mozart's Marriage of Figaro, the Brahms String Sextet No. 2, Vaughan Williams' Job. It's actually amazing how many composers did some of their best work in ballet. Nobody rates ballet, but it's really true. It's amazing. Bach, the Goldberg Variations, Richard Strauss's Four Last Songs, Berlioz, the Damnation of Faust, Haydn's Paris Symphonies, Wagner's Der Ring des Nibelungen, Beethoven's String Quartet No. 14 in C-sharp minor, Opus 131 or whatever the opus number is, Mendelssohn's Violin Concerto in E minor, Chopin's Preludes, and Verdi's Rigoletto. That is an amazing and remarkable list of 20 astonishing masterpieces by 20 fantastic composers who wrote a lot more that we should be allowed to enjoy, I maintain. But we made a really good start. I want to thank all of you for your participation. Keep it up. We're getting there. We're going to start on the next batch. And eventually, I have no doubt that we're going to be able to convince this surly, churlish, and rather petty, godlike thing that his plan to destroy classical music as we know it is just foolish. It really is. But until then, we're going to have a very, very difficult task ahead. And so I thank you for your fortitude, for your thoughtfulness, and your assistance in this absolutely essential task. I mean, next to this, solving the problem of global warming is like, kid stuff. So keep on listening, friends, and give me your selections. And oh, what a list we're going to have. Take care.